Hi, welcome back to another week of reading, and I'm going to focus on one book. I want to time this one as well. I want to see how long it takes me to read another 5-star prediction. This one I got from Libby. It's an ebook, so we'll see if ebooks really are faster than paperbacks for me. I'm going to be reading Vera Wong's Guide to Snooping on a Dead Man. It's the sequel to Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers. That one was a 5-star read for me last month, and so I'm really curious to see if the sequel can live up and if that's 5 stars as well. Vera Wong is back and as meddling as ever in this follow-up. Ever since a man was found dead in Vera's tea house, life has been good. For Vera, that is. She's surrounded by loved ones, her shop is bustling, and best of all, her son, Tilly, has a girlfriend. All thanks to Vera. I'm not going to read all of this description because I don't want there to be any potential spoilers, but basically, Vera finds a file about the death of an influencer who also happens to be a friend that this young woman has been looking for, and so Vera wants to solve another murder, and so I'm excited to see what kind of antics she gets up to and to delve more into the found family of it all, and I hope it really lives up to the sequel. I hope the sequel lives up to the first one. So it's day 2, and I didn't get very much reading done last night. I didn't have a whole lot of free time. I only got through 23 minutes last night, and I've done about a minute and a half today of the second Vera Wong book. And there's not much I can say other than I'm still really loving the culture in this book, the diversity of it. And Vera is just as she's as great as ever. So I think I'm on the second chapter, so it's still really early. Time will tell if the sequel will hold up to the original for me, but I'm enjoying it so far. So little update. Today is supposed to be day 4. As you can see, I have not done much reading. It's been about 32 minutes total. Last I checked in was day 2, and I literally only read for that minute and a half. I ended up getting really bad allergies and just got busy and didn't have the time to sit down. And then yesterday I did read for 7.5 minutes, but I don't know whether my allergies were just too much for me to concentrate because I was really tired after having to take allergy medicine. But I also might be in a little bit of a slump after finishing Dungeon Crawler Carl. That has rocketed up to one of my favorite all-time books ever, and so far nothing that I've tried reading has really captivated my interest as much as that had. So I fear I might be in a little bit of a reading slump, and I don't want to do Vera Wong an injustice by forcing myself to read when I'm not feeling it or can't sit down to read it. So I think I'm going to pick up another book and see if I can push through this slump. So I'm going to go ahead and reset my timer.
Go try.
Okay, now it's on.
Hi guys. Wait,
Hello.
Are we talking to anybody?
I'm testing shit right now.
We're testing shit?
I'm testing shit.
Testing shit. Your hair looks great. Oh, I got a microphone over here. I don't have to talk to that one.
Right.
Oh, testing.
But I don't know if the noise cancellation is on or not, but I'm gonna turn the AC back up a little bit. And
So hi.
hello. What are we doing today?
Oh, well let's do that for real because I only want to do that once.
Well, I don't know what the audio is gonna sound like.
Well, no, I don't mean right now. I mean later. Right now, ask me a different question.
Well, I wanted to talk about where I was going.
But on real camera, not test camera.
I don't care. I can fucking edit things.
Oh, well, so it doesn't matter that we're testing?
Either it works and I use it, or it doesn't and I don't. Or I adjust the audio in editing like I normally do. Anyway.
Hi.
You said that already. I said anyway already.
Yeah, but you gotta restart.
No, I don't.
Like the beginning.
My arm is hurting.
How's it going?
Oh, my arm hurts.
Oh. So where are we going?
You gotta slow down. Like a lot.
I think I was speeding.
Yeah. Did you know our town has a movie theater?
In Paca.
Well, that's our town. It's our Walmart. We gotta drive all the way to the Walmart. You just gotta go a little bit further for the movie theater. So.
Yep.
It's
at the Blue Water Casino. Yeah.
So we're going to the movies because one of my absolute favorite books. Ooh, the sun. Sorry, you're in a glare.
Ooh.
But one of my absolute favorite books got turned into a movie, so we're gonna go see it.
Yay. When was the last time we went to the movies? I think we've gone to a concert.
The last time I went to the movies was in college, not with you.
When was the last time I went to the movies?
I don't know, because you never took me to the movies. That was not a thing we did as a family.
Have you and I ever been to the movies together?
I don't think so.
What kind of a... Oh my God. What?
Last time I went to the movies was in college.
I can't even remember the last time I went.
I think the very last time I went, I took myself, so I went alone.
I honestly can't remember the last time I went to the movies, unless it was The Matrix. And if so, that was a long time ago.
I know Timbo and I went to a movie once. We might have gone to a movie when we were in the RV at one point.
But where? Because I can't remember.
I feel like there was a movie we saw. Once. Unless that was me and Timbo.
You and Timmy went, I know, a couple of times.
Oh, so it was me and Timbo and not you and me.
And that was when we were still in the Houston
house,
area,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so that was me and Timbo and not you and me. Huh. So I think this is the first time we're going to the movies together.
First time for everything. I'm sorry, I was a horrible dad. I must have been. Oh my God.
Well, you took me to see Cirque du Soleil. And,
and
a few
we've
concerts
gone to
now
concerts.
and then.
Yeah.
Well, I took you to one and you took me to one, so.
So, yeah. But I can't believe we've never gone to the movies together. What's this fuzzy thing?
Now I feel awkward.
It's like a bug.
Okay, that's too high. You're in orange.
I'm in orange?
Yeah.
Is that too loud? Why'd the screen go black?
Because I have it on screen save mode.
Why would you save the screen?
Oh God, this hurts my arm. Anyway.
What are we talking about?
I was gonna talk about...
The movie?
Yeah.
Rocky?
Well, so Project Hail Mary is one of my absolute favorite books. And it follows Dr. Ryland Grace, who's a scientist / school teacher. Excuse me. He wakes up aboard the spaceship with no memory and no crew, all alone, and he's got to figure out what to do. But long story short, the sun is dying, and it's being eaten.
Not his sun, but the actual sun.
The Earth's sun.
Yes.
Yeah, the Earth's sun is dying.
And the Earth.
Yeah, but the stars are dying. Not just the sun, but the stars are dying. And...
Well, something's actually eating them up.
Yeah, it's eating them. And so he's got to go and figure it out, because it's not just eating their star, it's eating other stars. So he's got to figure out how to save that, and he's all alone. And don't say any spoilers.
Okay.
The movie trailer spoils it, though, so...
I can't say anything about it, because it's all going to spoil it.
Well, okay. Well, the movie trailer spoils it, actually. So if you've seen the movie trailer. Anyway, what do you think about the movie, having not read the book?
I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, now that we've established that you've never actually taken me to the theaters before.
I can't believe that. Please don't take my dad card away.
So that was a great first movie to experience in the theaters together. Right?
Guess you got to start being a dad someday. But yeah, I enjoyed it. There were no um, spots in the entire movie where my mind wandered or I was bored. I was entertained the
And
entire
not
way through
having,
it.
yeah, not having knowing anything about the plot because you didn't read the book.
Right.
And me, I did read the book, and I think it stayed super as faithful as movie adaptations go. I think that one was the most true. Oh, hi, Bill.
Bill and Cindy.
I think yeah, they're okay. They're both in there, but I think that one was the truest book to movie adaptation I've seen. There were some changes, but obviously, something written word doesn't always translate well to screen. So I understand why they made some changes. They did make one of the characters a little softer. In the book, she was fucking psychotic.
You said a word.
It's not the first time. But she was really cold and calculating, and
But in the movie, she was you kind of warmed up to her.
yeah, in the book,
There goes Dane.
she's. Oh, okay. But Operation Bounce House is all colonist Oliver Lewis ever wanted to do was run the family ranch with his sister, maybe play a gig or two with his band, and keep his family's aging fleet of intelligent agriculture bots ticking as long as possible. He figures it will be a good thing when the transfer gate finally opens all the way and restores instant travel and full communication between Earth and his planet, New Sonora. But there's a complication. Even though the settlers were promised they'd be left in peace, Earth's government now has other plans. The colossal Apex Industries is hired to commence an eviction action. But maximizing profits will always be Apex's #1 priority. Why spend money printing and deploying AI soldiers when they can turn it into a game? Why not charge bored Earthers for the opportunity to design their own war machines and remotely pilot them from the comfort of their homes? The game is called Operation Bounce House. Oliver and his friends soon find themselves fighting for their lives against machines piloted by gamers who've paid a premium for the privilege. With the help of an old book from his grandfather and a bucket of rusty parts, Oliver is determined to defend the only home he's ever known. So I'm only a chapter in, but I am enjoying it. I don't know if it's going to be quite on the same level as Dungeon Crawler Carl for me. Hey, it's day 4. Last night I got about 18 and a half minutes, which brings the total up to just under 40 minutes of reading time in 4 days, which could be better. I am still reading Operation Bounce House, um, but I do also have an audiobook of another series going on, so I'm kind of splitting my time between those two, trying to see if something's going to shake loose this reading slump that I'm in. I am liking Operation Bounce House. I'm just not very far into it. Let me check. I'm 13% into it, which is, I've read 6 chapters, so I'm on chapter 7 now. It's really hard not to compare it to Dungeon Crawler Carl because it is the same author, and I did just read that, but I think Dungeon Crawler Carl jumps into the plot a little faster. From the beginning, you have the AI announcer guy explaining what's going on. and so the audience is more aware of things faster. Whereas in Operation Bounce House, it starts with a disrupting action, but it doesn't go into what's really happening right away. You don't really find out what Operation Bounce House means until about chapter 5. Um, and I think that's part of the character design. It follows Oliver, and he and his girlfriend literally break up after having a public fight over the fact that he doesn't believe in all the news. He's not paying attention to what's going on with Operation Bounce House and all of that. So he's kind of obtuse about it all. And so that's why there's conflict there in that relationship. And so I think because we're following Oliver, who hasn't paid attention to all that going on, he's a little clueless about it all, a little head in the sand type of character. I think that's why we're slower getting into the nitty gritty of things. Whereas in Dungeon Crawler Carl, you're just pushed right into the action from the forefront, and the plot from the forefront. Uh, in between the chapters, there's a documentary film transcript thing that Rosita filmed. I think they mentioned it was allegedly 6 months. It was filmed 6 months before the events of this took place, before the inciting incident. And I like those little breakups in between the chapters. It's nice to get a little bit of backstory without having to read through a whole chapter worth of backstory. And it's just a little glimpse of things of when life was normal on the colony. Instead of getting an exposition dump, you're getting little slivers of it in between the chapters. And I do really like that to break it up. Um, so far, what I've learned in this world is Operation Bounce House is about people back on Earth who pay to control robot mechs. And they hunt down people on other colonies, like the colony that Oliver and his friends and family are on. And they claim that the guys they're hunting are rebellious and that it's in the middle of a war, and all of the people who aren't in safe zones are who they need to hunt down. And Oliver and his friends and neighbors and all, they're all farmers, and they weren't allowed to get to a safe zone. None of them really had any warning that all of this was going on, and so they're like, "What the hell?" They're all really innocent, allegedly. The reason that we're given as to why the people back on Earth don't care about hunting them down is that all of the colonists had to kind of do some genetic mutation, something or other, in order to survive on the planet because of something called the sickness, where it killed all of their parents, which I don't understand why it didn't kill the grandparents. So the children, which is the current generation we're following, and then the grandparents' age were all still alive, but it was the parents that all died, and so they needed to make that genetic change, and because of that, they're seen as subhuman compared to the Earthers. Um, I'm not entirely understanding that bit of it. We haven't been explained as to what made it so different or why they weren't surviving on the planet before. So I'm a little bit lost there, but I am only 13% in. We could run. It was the prudent thing to do. Mr. Gonzalez was right in that they could turn us to sludge whenever they wanted. We had no planetary defenses. So what was the point of fighting them? I thought about that unreasonable order, for us all to go to Fat Landing. They had to know it was impossible. They had to know that it was a harvest. They had to know that it was harvest and that we wouldn't comply, that we couldn't comply. Running was useless. It didn't matter if it was 5 days or 5 years. There wasn't anywhere we'd be able to hide. And even if I did run, I knew several of my friends wouldn't. And then what? What if we survived? What would we come back to? Would I be able to live with myself? No, I decided. No, I couldn't. Um, Hi. It's the next day, and, oh god. The first chapter I read today, um, is they found the first group of bodies and the first casualties in the war, in the slaughter, and God, I'm so glad I didn't read that before bed last night. So I'm still on day 5, I believe, of reading Operation Bounce House. I've read for 52 minutes today total. So far, I'm on page 152 out of 437, which equals 36% done. Um, I've only read about an hour and 49 minutes total, spread across 5 days. So today's by far been the biggest reading chunk that I've done. And the day's not over, so it's possible I'll still read a little more tonight. Um, I've been taking breaks in between chapters, like reading a chapter, then taking a break to watch YouTube. So I haven't had a moment where I've gotten so sucked in that I don't want to put it down and I don't want to do other things. I've been kind of needing to break it up in my brain a little bit and read a chapter here or there and then do something else for a little bit and then read a chapter, then doing something else. So there hasn't been a moment that's really sucked me in like Dungeon Crawler Carl did. And I'm not entirely sure if it has to do with the fact that it's just a bigger cast of characters, it's harder to follow, and so I'm not connecting with the characters as much, or, most of the characters are in their 20s. I mean, you've either got the grandparents who are side characters, or you've got the main core team who are in their 20s, and then everything else is like robotic drones. And I don't know if I'm just not loving it because of like the AI robot futuristic drone type of thing, or if I'm just really not connecting to the characters. There is a little bit too much of the toxic video game bro slash potty humor in it, so I'm not really. At first, I thought it would be the same kind of humor in Dungeon Crawler Carl, but I think this is taking it a little too far and it's almost forcing it. It's not really gelling with the subject matter. The humor seems a little out of place in it. It's also harder to picture everything in my head. We were a cause to them, and causes were these floating, nebulous things that lived on screens and online forums. A ribbon one could put on their profile picture. They were something one could wear like a pair of sunglasses or a new jacket. A way to present themselves to the world. A way to say, look at my halo. Look at how much I care. So I finished Operation Bounce House. Overall, it took 7 days and 5 hours and 4 minutes spread across those 7 days. Last night I read for 52 and a half minutes, and today is what I got 2 hours and 3 minutes done until I finished it. So I really had a good chunk of reading, and today's March 30th, so I really just wanted to focus and get this done before the month ended. So I think, aside from what I've already said about it, Oliver felt too passive for me in the beginning. His ex girlfriend even got mad at him and told him that she needed him to get angry. And I feel like once he finally did, he hit that threshold and he started making decisions and really fighting back. The last 30 to 40% of this book went by a lot quicker. It was still hard to really picture everything in my head. I don't love all of the robots and all of the decisions and action that came from robots versus the characters themselves doing stuff. But overall, I think the themes were super important. The message, the themes, the message was super important. It is a very timely book as to, as far as what's happening in the world right now, but it also made it hard to read about. And overall, I think some things worked for it, some things didn't, but I did really like it. And the last, like I said, the last 40 or so percent of the book really brought the rating back up for me. I think I'm going to settle on a 4. It's not a 5, although I did cry a couple of times and there were some good quotes in there, but overall, I don't think it's a 5 for me, but a 4 is still really, really good. I think this has a potential to be higher if I were to wait and reread it. But I currently don't have the desire to do so immediately. Not like I did with Dungeon Crawler Carl, and then that one to me was still like an amazing 5. other than that, I think that's it. I really think I think I need to just do. I need for my next book. I need to just pick something completely opposite and do like a cozy, fluffy. Maybe do a little romance, something that's not as serious or takes as much brain power as something of this scope would. I think I need to just do something light, do a palate cleanser, do a reset next after this. But that was my thoughts on Operation Bounce House. So thank you.